Hello, people. Today we have the new Bakugo shirt on. I'm excited about it, and yeah, I just got it, so that's why I'm so excited. But I actually got both of the shirts. The t-shirt that says t-shirt on it that Izuku always wears in My Hero Academia. And I also got the skull one, as you can see, that Bakugo wears in My Hero Academia. I love it because it's like a reference nod to the show, but you're not actually wearing like merch with their face plastered on it. I absolutely love that idea, so obviously that's why I got it. But you guys aren't here for My Hero Academia shit. You're here for Jujutsu Kaisen shit. Obviously, if you clicked on this, you would know today that we are reading Yuuji. Well, I should say, I think it's from, I should say whoever's POV it's from first. Megumi Fushiguro X Yuuji Itadori. I don't know why I wanted to say reader, but I feel like I just had caffeine, although I didn't, so we're gonna have to deal with that a little bit. But this one today is called My Feelings Hold Hope. It's a really kind of like shorter one, which I wanted, but I found this one when I was looking for the Baby Joe one which I read earlier. It's on my YouTube channel in the JJK archives. That one was a Gato X Gojo one, and basically Gojo turned into a little baby version of himself by a curse, and Gato had to be daddy to him all that day. However, I thought it was going to be this super cute, lighthearted, fun one, and turns out Gojo actually had a pretty scarring childhood that ended up being kind of a deeper one. And I was like, okay, I did not want this one to be that deep. It was supposed to be fun, which it was. So if you're interested in that premise of that kind of fanfic, go on and check that out. It is up right now. But yeah, that one ended up being a little deep, a little traumatizing, a little bit of the traumas. And hopefully this one's not going to be. It seems like a really lighthearted, fun, crushy one. And it's of Megumi in college, and I think that Yuuji is also in college in this one. But yeah, it doesn't have any zesty or anything, which I kind of like. Oh, I literally just saw sad Yuuji Itadori. Guys, if this is super deep, again, I am so sorry, but we all love an angsty fic. So it's only got 6 kudos and not a lot of hits, but it's probably most likely because it's only got 841 words. And it's not exactly in their universe, so I get that. I love ones in the actual universe. But yeah, we're gonna jump right into this one and make this a little bit of a quicker video. But it's by zenpaaws with 2 A's. My Feelings Hold Hope. I always encourage you guys, go if you like this and give it a kudos. I give it a kudos at the end, obviously, if I like it and everything, but without the authors, we genuinely would not have these. So I would love for you to go over, if you liked this and you resonated with this fic, go and give them the love that they deserve. You technically read it with me, so I always encourage you guys. I link everything in the description below. I link the fanfic below. Like I said, please go over there and give it a kudos, because they literally do this, not like, they don't even get paid or anything. So let us go over there and give them the credit that they deserve. Okay, I love how the notes start with, someone take away this dang site away from me. It's nearly 3 in the morning. Because I feel like that's me reading fanfic in my bed at night. I've been procrastinating writing this for a while now, but the emails from AO3 have been motivating me to finish this. I aim this fic to be more on the enemies to lovers side. Ooh, spicy. But it's more Yuuji being oblivious to Megumi's irritation. And Megumi throwing a hissy fit. As he does. Megumi be the drama queen, we all know. Anyways, I might end up adding a few chapters every now and then. Otherwise, enjoy this fic. Wow, okay, so she didn't add I don't like to assume genders, but they didn't add another chapter at all since then. So I'm assuming it's like 4/16 of 2026. They could still do it, but this one is fresh too. That might be another reason it doesn't have a lot of hits. So we'll experience this fresh off the block. I didn't know I grabbed like a new one here for you guys. But let's get into this. Let's get reading. The morning's soothing silence didn't last long. To Megumi's disappointment, I feel like I'm like, let's get reading. And then I like, one sentence in, I have something to say, guys. No, I feel like what I was going to say is Megumi is definitely that person who gets up at 4 in the morning. And it's like, that's totally normal, guys. You guys should be doing it too. That's the most productive time of the day and all that jazz that everybody says. I love a good morning. Early morning, but that to me is like 6 o'clock, so his phone alarm blared noisily, and it might have woken up the whole crappy dorm building if Megumi didn't slam his hand down onto the stop button, the loud ringing coming to a halt, thankfully. Megumi's limb felt heavy with exhaustion, the weariness of the previous night seeping into his memories. He sunk deeper into his warm mattress, which was suddenly comfortable despite the night before. It was practically impossible to even grasp the idea of being comfortable. He pushed himself up, the creased blanket pooling around his waist as his lips parted in a yawn. The bed creaked as Megumi shifted to outstretch his arm and drag his phone off the nightstand. He squinted against the bright glow that lit up his face and the dimmish room. 6:30 a.m. Well, I wasn't wrong. I feel like he would actually, like, accurately think, like, 4 a.m. is a good time, you know, to wake up and everything, but I guess he's more on my time clock. Look at that. Twinsies. Megumi sighed softly. He regretted setting that damn alarm at 6:30 in the fucking morning. So in this, he's actually not a morning person, though. His classes didn't even start that early, so the extra getting ready time wasn't necessary, though he certainly did appreciate the extra time after he had to exactly make his own breakfast, rather than go into the cafeteria for the morning snack. So, kind of like what I was saying. Anyways, I'll stop analyzing and start reading. What a nightmare, not to mention a pain in the ass. Megumi turned his phone off with a small click, setting it back down onto the black nightstand that had a pile of non-fiction books stacked up, along with his lamp and the small pack of gum he always kept around. He didn't exactly fancy the taste unless, of course, none other than the classic mint flavor. Very plain as is Megumi. There was just something sharp about the taste that made him stay alert and kind of on edge. He just liked feeling that way. It reminded him of the ginger seasoning I always butcher the name. Sumiki always bought at the shitty convenience store just a few blocks away from home. God, he missed home. Oh, that's going to sound so crappy of a JJK fan to you guys, but I think that's his sister. Yeah, I think so. Now was no time to get homesick, though. Reluctantly, Megumi tore the warm duvet off his hips and pressed his feet on the floor. He slightly praised himself for wearing socks. Otherwise, his feet might have froze, given how cold it was. It was too cold, though. Megumi, why are you wearing socks in bed, bro? Not the socks in the bed. That's... I don't know. I kind of judge people who wear socks in bed. I'm not going to lie. I'm so sorry if you do. I'm not judging you. I am a little bit. But I just don't know. How do you guys do it? Like, how do you wear socks? When your toes, when the dogs are free, that's when you can settle down. Like, I don't know. Everybody has their own thing, though, so, you know. Megumi narrowed his eyes as he stood straight, striding to the AC panel that was drilled into the wall. His lips curled in irritation as he found the stupid AC cranked up. He quickly turned it off and chewed his bottom lip in frustration to prevent ripping the stupid machine out of the wall from pure annoyance. I feel like this is a very Bakugo POV, so maybe the shirt was a little accurate. He only knew one dumbass who would do that. Itadori Yuuji. Itadori? Megumi called, his voice raspy with exhaustion and sleep. He turned the corner on the wall, socks squeaking on the floorboards as he walked towards his roommate's door. The irritated boy banged his first his fist rhythmically onto the white door, repeating his name. Itadori. Megumi could make out the sound of shuffling from the other side of the door, a sleepy groan, then the sound of feet on the floor. Then the door was lightly pulled open, revealing a tired-looking Yuuji. He's like, why are you fucking getting me up this early? You do be knowing that Yuuji Itadori is sleeping in till the last minute. The boy's soft, pink-toned hair was swept aside, the usual spikes now pathetic strands of pink, unruly and unkempt. Yuuji wore a loose white pajama shirt, which was creased and almost as messy as his hair. Megumi's eyes caught onto the bright yellow duck slippers that were tugged onto Yuji's feet, glaring down the stupid pair of fluffy slippers. That is so would be so Yuuji. Nice slippers, Megumi remarked sarcastically, irritation still burning in his gaze as he forced it to shift back up to Yuji's face. The boy only yawned tiredly, hand brought up to cover his mouth poorly. You're being sarcastic, Yuuji finally commented, his arms flopping back down to his sides. His voice was usually lighter, but he sounded more exhausted now, tone a bit rasped. Captain Obvious, Megumi retorted, tone sharp. What was it that you had to wake me up at like 5 a.m. for anyways? Yuuji grunted in return, ignoring the clear pissed sound in his voice and Megumi's unimpressed glare. Megumi's brows knitted together in a frown, sighing. Could Itadori be this dense? 1, it isn't 5 a.m., and 2, you left the goddamn aircon on. Megumi hissed out, his tone sharp and annoyed. His body felt heavy with exhaustion, and here he was, bickering with his roommate. Even though it was one-sided, Yuuji just lifted his brow. Megumi sighed softly, rubbing the back of his neck, uncomfortably as he continued. Don't leave the aircon on, please. He murmured, spinning on his heel before Yuuji could make a rebuttal. He chewed on his bottom lip, heading into the dormitory's kitchen tucked away into the corner of the dorm, just sitting at the back of the cramped living room. He shimmied along the counter, socks sliding across the floor as Megumi poured water lazily into a kettle. He was still unhappy about the whole aircon mishaps, but decided to maintain his focus on the boiling kettle, a thin smole billowing across the room. Today would be a long day. Okay, so I clearly see why she said chapters. Because literally, 1, I love the writing. I wish she would write more. I mean, there's some, like, non-capitalized sentences and everything, but I'm no critic. But other than that, she actually has, like, or he or they actually write, like, really good, and they definitely have Megumi and Yuji's characters really, like, pinned as what they are canonically. So I'm a little frustrated right now. I wish there was more. What the heck? So I thought this might be like they were in a relationship or something, and they were getting, it was like a funny tell about how Yuuji ignores Megumi's, like, angst and stuff like that in the relationship a little too much. Like, like couples problems, but it literally was just that, and now I want more. So hopefully she does update. This makes so much sense, though. I didn't really review this before I did it, so that also makes sense why I picked this one. I'm so sorry it didn't have like a lot of context to it. I feel like I should go pick another, but Chapter 1 done. I apologize for this being so small and rushed. The note for the fic being deleted was really getting to my head. Lol, and I just rushed to post this. So it was gonna delete it in her drafts. That's so annoying. Why do they do that? I hope this fic was enjoyable. I'm trying to take inspiration off the other writers' techniques, lol. I feel like they're doing really good. They're doing actually really good, and they should continue writing. Maybe we will come back to this one, and maybe we'll actually have like a second chapter. I'm gonna add it in my like bookmarks, and then we'll see like what happens. Hopefully they add more. I'm definitely giving it a kudos. I'm gonna encourage her to continue. But yeah, this one was pretty short. A little disappointing, but I think I'm going to go find another one, and then we're going to jump right into that one. Hopefully I can find another one that's like shorter and has more context into it. But yeah, I think I will. Okay, so we're just reading some short ones today, I guess. I found this one. It doesn't look like much, but it actually kind of looks funny. I thought the context of it was going to be kind of cute. I love like the crush ones and everything. So this is another Megumi, obviously Yuuji one, and we're gonna be going over this one that only has like, it's another one that's pretty short. It doesn't have a lot of hits, so hopefully it's a little more than the last one. Should have known that one with the frickin' I'm gonna add more chapters thing. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this one because I feel like this one actually gives us an ending somewhat. It's the one where Fushiguro is hopelessly in love with Yuuji, and after an intervention with Maki, Panda, and Nobara, and a separate talk with Gojo, he's ready to confess his feelings, only for Yuuji to confess first. This one just seems like a funny concept, especially this is just a friend borrowing the account. I do not own this account. I just write the fics on here. And then what the heck? Anyways, let's get into this one. Megumi Fushiguro, I butchered that name. Megumi Fushiguro was, by all accounts, a rational person. He assessed Kurtz's planned tactics, and maintained a stoic demeanor that could frost over a sunny day. Currently, however, his rationality was being held hostage by a single devastating pink-haired problem that was named Yuuji Itadori. I don't know why I want to say it the other way around. They have it as Itadori Yuuji, but I'm doing my own thing. I'm going off the script, guys. It had reached a critical point. He'd started sighing dramatically while watching Yuuji do push-ups. He'd accidentally bought 2 of every snack at the convenience store, just in case. The final straw was when he had subconsciously drawn little hearts in the margin of a cursed spirit analysis report. Panda had spotted it. Thus, the intervention was called. I was right, this one is funny. Bro, Panda said, placing a heavy paw on Megumi's shoulder in the otherwise empty common room. You've got it bad. We're here for you. It's pathetic, Nobara declared, arms crossed. The gloomy brooding act was cool when you were just brooding about shadows. Now you're brooding about his smile. It's lame. Maki, leaning against the doorframe, added the final pragmatic blow. Fushiguro, if you don't say something, someone else will, and then you'll just brood harder. It's inefficient. I love Maki. She's like, this is a common sense thing to do. And I feel like she's also like kind of like Megumi in that way where she's like, they're a little similar where she's like, why aren't you going the common route? Like, you always go the common sense route. So be insane, Nobara. Oh, Megumi, I skipped a whole line. Megumi sank his face into his hands, his ears burning. I don't know what to say. Hey, I think about your stupid, optimistic face when I'm trying to exercise grade 1 curses. It sounds insane. So be insane, Nobara yelled. Just walk up and say, I like you, idiot. He's Itadori. He'll probably just say, cool, and ask if you want to get ramen. Panda nodded. The statistical... I'm getting stuck on like one word things here. The statistical probability of a positive outcome is high. His emotional intelligence, while simple, is profound. Maki shrugged. Worst case scenario, you get rejected, then you can use the pain to fuel your technique. See? Productive. Of course Maki would say that. Of course. Megumi left the intervention feeling marginally more resolved and entirely more mortified. His resolve lasted approximately until he rounded a corner and literally walked into Gojo Satoru. You sure you want to ask him about relationships? He's pretty... I don't know. He's got a pretty complicated one himself. He needs to figure out. Whoa there, Megumi, Gojo chirped, his blindfold somehow conveying a smirk. You look like you're headed to your own execution, or is it a confession? Oh, Gojo already knows the biz. He was probably listening outside the door. Let's be honest. He would totally be that teacher who was like, every morning before I go into my classroom, I make sure I stand outside the door and catch all the tea, and then I go in, because I need to know what's up with my students. Megumi froze. How do you... Panda has a big mouth. Also, the hearts on the report were a clue. Also, I can see all the phenomena. Remember? Your aura around Yuuji is less Jujutsu sorcerer and more teen romance manga protagonist. It's adorable. Gojo-sensei, please. No, listen. Gojo slung an arm around Megumi's shoulders, lowering his voice conspiratorially. I love how Gojo's like, you're gonna listen. He didn't go to Gojo for advice. Gojo dishes the advice. My prize student. Down catastrophically bad for my other prize student. This writer is a genius. I have advice. You need a grand gesture. Serenade him. Challenge him to a duel where the winner gets the other's heart. Hire a skywriter. What is that? I don't even know. Those are all terrible ideas. Fine, be boring. But Megumi. Gojo's tone shifted, just for a second, into something almost sincere. The only real curse here is regret. And I know. Side eye, Gojo. Are you talking about someone? Side eye. The only real curse here is regret. And it's a lot harder to exercise than a finger bearer. Now, shoo, go get your man, or I'll tell him for you. Maki's, like, standing in the doorway like, I clocked that shit. Oh, I also knew it was gonna be Gojo. Oh, man. The threat was enough. Megumi, propelled by equal parts terror, Maki's efficiency advice, and the sheer, overwhelming weight of his feelings, marched towards the training grounds where Yuuji was practicing alone. His mind was a whirlwind. Just say it. Yuuji, I have feelings for you. Simple, direct, then maybe pass out. I love the gay panic. He found Yuuji sitting on the steps, wiping his forehead. The sight of him glowing with the post-exertion sweat and that ever-present gentle smile made Megumi's carefully rehearsed speech evaporate. Yuuji, Megumi blurted out, his voice tighter than usual. Megumi, hey! Yuuji beamed, patting the spot next to him. You okay? You look super serious. Now, do it now. Oh, why is he's murmuring this under his breath. Now, do it now. Megumi took a deep breath, his heart hammering against his ribs like a trapped bird. I need to tell you something. It's important. I've been thinking about it for a long time. Yuuji's smile softened into a look of attentive concern. Yeah, what's up? It's about us. About my feelings. The word felt foreign and clumsy on his tongue. The truth is Oh, thank goodness, Yuuji interrupted, slumping in relief. A massive sun-bright grin split his face. I've been trying to figure out how to say it all day. I like you, Megumi. Like, really like you. More than just a friend. I was so worried it would make things weird, but Maki said I should just be direct. So Maki's working out all angles here. And then Gojo Sensei said I should challenge you to an eating contest, and the winner confesses. Which seemed messy, so I decided to just Megumi's brain short-circuited. The wild titled, the world tilted. The wild titled. Where was I even going with that? The world tilted. All the anxiety, the pining, the dramatic internal monologues, and Yuuji had just said it. First, casually, as if he were announcing he'd bought a new brand of chips. You what? Megumi managed, his cool facade utterly shattered. I like you, Yuuji repeated, his eyes sparkling. You're so cool and smart, and you always have my back, even when I do dumb stuff. And your hair is really nice. Your hair is really nice. Even when it's all messy. I feel like that's his only hairstyle, though. And your dogs are the best. And wait, Yuji's enthusiastic rumble screeched to a halt. His eyes went wide. What were you gonna say? A strange, giddy bubble of laughter fought its way past Megumi's shock. The absurdity of it all, the intervention, Gojo's nonsense, his own tortured pining, crashed over him. He let out a breath that was half sigh, half chuckle. I was trying to say the same thing, you absolute moron. Silence hung for a beat. Then Yuji's face lit up with such pure, unadulterated joy that it rivaled the sun. Really? Really? Yes, Yuuji punched the air, then immediately turned and grabbed Megumi's hand, his grip warm and solid. This is awesome. This is the best. Does this mean we can go on dates? Can we get extra large portions of ramen and share? Exactly what they said. Can I hold your hand when we walk to missions? That's cute. The onslaught of Yuji's enthusiasm was overwhelming, but for the first time, Megumi didn't want to retreat into his shadows. He let it wash over him, warm and bright. Yes, to all of it, but maybe take it one thing at a time. Right, Yuji nodded vigorously, but he didn't let go of Megumi's hands. He just looked up at him, his smile softening into something sweeter, more intimate. Hey, Megumi. Can I, Yuji's, he's like, I'm gonna get it right away. He's like a fly over there. Can I, Yuji's eyes flickered down to Megumi's lips, then back up. A faint blush on his cheeks. The bold confessor was suddenly shy. Megumi didn't answer with words. He just leaned in closer, closing the small distance between them. The kiss was tentative at first, a little clumsy, fueled by nervous excitement and years of unspoken want. But as Yuji's hand came up to gently cup his jaw, it softened, deepened into something wonderfully perfectly them. A mix of Yuji's sunbeam warmth and Megumi's quiet intensity. When they finally pulled apart, foreheads resting together, Yuji was grinning again. Wow. Okay. That was way better than winning an eating contest. God damn it, Gojo. From the roof of the nearby building, a familiar voice floated down, loud and utterly delighted. My ship has sailed! Pay up, Panda! I told you it'd be today! I bet that was Nobara. I think it was. Megumi groaned, burying his burning face in Yuji's shoulder. I'm going to murder him! Yuji just laughed, wrapping his arms around Megumi in a hug that felt like coming home. Nah, let him be happy. We're happy, right? And as Megumi stood there, held in the unwavering light of Itadori Yuji, surrounded by the chaos of their found family, he couldn't deny it. For the first time, the shadows within him felt quiet, and all he felt was a deep, contented warmth. Yeah, he murmured, a small, genuine smile touching his lips. We are. That one I should have read first. That one was my favorite today. That one was actually so funny. I love ones like that, especially to read on here. The deeper ones are definitely like something that I'm like still getting used to, but like reading out loud, because I feel like the more angsty deeper ones are kind of like that thing where you're like reading. But I love these because I'm not going to like make a joke, because the times are lighthearted and everything in the first half, and then near the ending I'm just feeling like, oh my god, I'm I was joking around in the beginning of this, and now it's just profound like trauma. You know? I feel like sometimes Bakudeku ones do that to me. They be doing that. Also, Satoru Sukuru ones definitely have the trauma going on, as did Gojo in this still. So I hope he figured that out. As we know, he probably didn't. But this one was awesome. Oh my god. This one actually was super awesome. I forgot to say the title in the beginning. So, Total Plot Twist was the title, and Rain the Axolotl was that. I feel like they are so light and funny, and they definitely, wow. I thought the first one nailed the personalities, but this one was definitely like held a candle over the other one. I love this one. I'm so glad I did that afterwards. It kind of left it all on a cuter, funny, this is really what I was actually looking for. So we got it in the ending. Cheers. We still got our happy ending. But yeah, this one was so cute. I have not read many Megumi and Yuuji ones. So this is probably my first fanfic, one shot, or anything I've read of them. So this one's honestly, well, the other one was, but then this one was second. But this one was honestly so cute. Please go leave the author a kudos. I link it in the description below. Leave them a kudos because they did a great job on it. At least if you resonated with it like I did, and you think you liked it like I did, I always encourage you guys, like I said in the beginning, to go leave them a kudos and show them our love, because without them we would not have all this goodness. And I feel like it's definitely was a great one to end it on. I'm so happy I ended on that one, guys. I will see you next time. Make sure you subscribed if you really liked this and want more content like this, because I do have my playlists of all the different ones in my channel and on my page. They have the Bakudeku ones, we have My Hero ones. We're still obviously getting to more of those because I just started doing these. So if you're new here and you're tagging along, then welcome. And I'm so glad to have you here. I'm so glad I can share this fan fiction with you. And yeah, I also have a series called Is It Cooking or Cooked? And that's when we go and read some offhand, weirder fanfic that maybe you wouldn't have thought about from other TV shows or whatnot. I already did one episode of that, and it was about Mordecai and Rigby from the regular show. So if you dig that kind of stuff, that is also what's going to be happening on my channel. So a lot to get to, a lot more to come, and I obviously have the JJK folder in my channel under my playlist. You can go, and I did a Gojo one of that, I think 2 now, and we just got to a Megumi and Yuuji one. I will be doing more of this ship, but if you want me to do another ship from any other animes or whatnot, then leave it in the comments down below, and I will try to get to it. And I will see you guys next time.